All right, we're September 2024, and I want to give a quick update, just kind of a journaling, if you will, here via video. What I've done most recently is I've trimmed these. I went around each tree, at least the ones that have been around, established for 2 years or more now. And I started to trim them up because I started noticing that there were different leads, multiple leads on multiple trees, and um, winter's passed. The snow, if it gets in between the different leaves, it'll weigh and bend each of those leaves a different direction. What I've always been impressed by is how resilient these trees are. So even after that, I'll have these things bent, you know, 45-degree angle or something, down from the middle, and yet they, over as the season warms up, they'll kind of come as straight and you know head towards the sky as possible. So they've all kind of rebounded very nicely from that. And I've learned to just come and pay attention to the snow and kick that off, or shake off the snow each year. I don't wrap these in like burlap, but I do spray for deer, anti-deer repellent, or deer repellent, excuse me, anti. That's a double negative, but so that's been my approach. Now I got to do a better job, I think, of spider mite protection. But anyway, I wanted to show that I've come and trimmed these things. I can see a little bit of burning, like a little, trying to keep them watered. I trimmed like mid to late summer, and we're in zone 4, so it gets colder sooner. And I know that that was probably pushing it as far as the edge, as far as giving them a chance to recovery. But I've also wanted to try to water them as often as I can. We've had some decent weather here in Minnesota. It's getting hot streak again. And by hot, we're talking about 80s, right? So not scorching, but still hot enough where I want to get these things watered often. And you can kind of see like the little parts where there's cuts, and there's a little bit of, like I said, I think burning at the end, or scarring, I guess you would call that. But overall, I mean, since I've trimmed that one, it's grown probably another ½ inch. That lead is about a ½ inch taller than what it was. I mean, I tend to measure them by standing in front of them myself and see how much taller than me it is. This thing's well over a foot taller than me. This one's about a half a foot, not even taller, maybe. And this is one of the big ones. This one has kind of taken it's a tie between this one and the first one. So, but again, not just about growing up. Some of these things are growing, round nicely. I think they each have the same exact amount of space to grow with. But I'm hoping also that the trimming spurs some of that as well. So we'll see. I'm monitoring, obviously, and we'll see what happens there. I'm hopeful that the winter snow, the weighted, wet, heavy, late winter snows, I can kind of be on top of those a bit better, and the lead reduction down to 1 helps out. Now this is a unique tree. It's my 4 points. It's got 4 different leaves up here. It's like it's a quadrant of a tree, and I gotta really figure out how to deal with this one. Especially, like I said, it's gonna be, I don't know if you can see, but there's a big branch there. There's one here. There's one there. There's one there. So, and then come up to those 4 leaves. So that one will be a close watch this winter. These are still fairly small. This was the one that was next to the one that was replaced. And now it seems to have taken the lead of like which one is needing the most TLC. I see a lot of brown in this one already, and maybe it's just because of lack of water. Maybe it's something about what's in the ground, the sodium, the clay, how packed it is. I've done a lot of amendments, if you will, trying to figure that out. Maybe I need to get a soil test. This is the new one. She's still looking good, or he's still looking good, excuse me. I think I changed the gender of that one. From Shirley to now this is Odudaway. And then this one is my most perfectly balanced tree, period. Love that one a lot. Didn't trim that one much at all. I think I did. Yeah, I didn't touch that one at all. Trimmed the one next to it, another lead. That one's doing all right. These 2 were the 2 previous edges. That one was, and these 2, because we get flooded right here a lot over the winter and autumn, seasons, they were really kind of like overwatered, I noticed. And so, but I've amended the ground, and I've also extended out further to what you would call the east here. And so, that's been serving well. Now I got an irrigation that pops up. I think it's on this side of the tree, and so now this kind of blocks it from hitting like a 15-degree angle this way. But I know for a fact this tree, which is also brand new, this one looks like the healthiest tree I have in terms of just density, and obviously no trimming on any of the newer trees. But this one just looks beautiful, and it's like a lush green, also, which is they're all pretty green. Some of them have different colorations with the browns coming in, and just have older foliage. But this one is just so beautiful to look at, and when I wash it, I mean, it reminds me of these bad boys, the first year as well. It's just beautiful, and they know it too, and that one knows it as well. But also gets really the bulk of a lot of moisture, so I'm actually impressed that it's taking to that nicely. So, quick update. Just wanted to kind of walk through and talk through, and also, trying to learn and make sure I pay attention to how to care for these things. As they progress, they're very much like little kids that you have to nurture and listen to, and sometimes give direction to, and prune and course correct. And unfortunately, maybe not always like kids, but replace. And so, maybe not always. All right. Until we speak again, that's what we got. Cheers.